And welcome back to Big Mouth. Yes, I finally seen Spielberg's Ready Player One, and I loved it. I really did. I thought it was a fantastically enjoyable, fun film with a real world commentary. Now, the real world commentary now, which we're getting in many films and TV shows now, kind of regrettably, because I'd rather just stick to the fantasy, is that after all, the real world is real. That's what they say in the film. So you can't be in a fantasy world, 24/7. It's not good for you. That's what they're saying. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. So, the Oasis is Facebook. The Oasis is Snapchat. The Oasis is Twitter. The Oasis is Instagram or your favorite game that you can't get off of. Let's say Fortnite, right? So this really is a commentary on those things and this society that now is plugged in constantly. This is what they're saying in this film, and it's very interesting, isn't it? Because it's a true comment that we are, most of us, plugged in all the time to the internet. Is it good for us? Is it bad for us? Should we be spending more time in the real world? Well, quickly, because I want to talk about this film. This is my opinion on it. What I do feel is that one day there will be no internet and we will have to live in the real world. And I think there will be mass suicides if we ever lose the internet because we're so plugged in, so obsessed and so used to it. That's my take on it. Anyway, the film. Wade Watts, really good character, well played, not terribly fleshed out a great deal, but none of the characters were in this film. But that wasn't why we were going to watch anyway. We were watching for this virtual reality kind of concept, and that aspect was beautiful. I loved Samantha. Don't call her a love interest because she's more than that. She's the actress who played Norman Bates' girlfriend for a little while in Bates Motel, and she ended up with Norman's brother, didn't she? Now, I recognised the voice, but I wasn't sure who she was until we saw her other version, and she's such a good young actor as well. So that was great casting by Spielberg. The villain. Ben Mendelsohn is a fantastic actor. He really is. But I thought Nolan was useless. He wasn't a threat. I wasn't afraid of him. I wasn't afraid he was going to hurt Wade or hurt Samantha. So it wasn't really for me a character. And we're getting these villain problems in these big blockbusters more and more now. So, yes, but really the villain was never an important, integral part of this film. You wasn't going to hate this film because of a bad or good villain. But so many Easter eggs. I mean, we had the DeLorean. My favourite was the Zemeckis Cube, obviously named after Robert Zemeckis, the director of the Back to the Future trilogy. And Back to the Future was very prominent in this film because obviously Alan Silvestri, who did the music for all three of those films, did the music for Ready Player One. His score was really good. And at times, purposely, I think, you could hear that Back to the Future kind of type of music, which was really, really brilliant. The Oasis was stunning. The effects for this film are flawless. Now, I don't care if anyone's saying the CG is not good because everyone seems to say CG for a film isn't very good. But the CG in this film was really good. Now, the whole idea of this film is that the inventor of the Oasis, Halliday, splits with his partner who he created the Oasis with. He had someone he was in love with. He never took that opportunity. She ended up with his friend, or I don't know, kind of saying, I can't even remember. So it's really about a character who created this amazing thing, but really was never happy or never satisfied. And that echoes into Wade's character, because in the film, they all live in these units that look like caravans. It isn't a great existence in the future. And all they have is the Oasis. The Oasis is called the Oasis basically because it's a place you can go and fulfill your fantasies and be something that you're not. And that's the whole point of it, because the world is so shitty now. The Oasis gives you an opportunity to live out those fantasies. So this is what I'm talking about, this film. It's not just a film, the actual book by Klein, because it's a very interesting concept in terms of living in this world that you hate, which most of us do, let's be honest about that, and there's a place. It's like when you watch your favourite TV shows, when you go on Netflix or anything. It's an escape. That's your oasis. And this is what really Ernest Cline was foreshadowing in his book. We all have our oasis, but is it healthy to be in that oasis all the time? Personally, I think the world's crap. It's always going to be crap, and you always need that escape. And the longer you can escape for, the better. And it's not unhealthy. What's more unhealthy? To be in a shitty world that just cares about money, control, and power, or be somewhere else where things are a lot better and can be a place where you want to be. So at the end of the day, I personally think there's nothing wrong with it. Obviously, parents get concerned about their kids when they're on these devices all the time. But hey, here's the reality, parents. Don't buy them the devices. I know there's peer pressure now. But at the end of the day, you have the power for them to not even touch those devices till they're in their maybe mid-teens. So no good blaming society for that, parents. You have the control, man or woman up, and sort it out. Anyway, back to the film. I thought the film had some really brilliant supporting characters. I loved Wade's best friend, both in the Oasis and out of the Oasis. I thought that was a fabulous character. I loved the Shining bit. That was absolutely hilarious. That was brilliant. I really enjoyed that. And you know what's the funny thing is, I've never seen The Shining before, so it was all new to me, like it was, like it was with Wade's best mate. I forget his name. I'm not very good with character names after I've just seen the film once, but yeah, I love that character, and I love when he sees kind of the naked woman and everything, and he's in two minds, isn't he? And then it turns out to be this awful heckling woman who's trying to stab him. And what about Chucky? That was another great Easter egg, because everyone's scared of Chucky, not Chucky. I mean, I love Chucky, no matter how bad his sequels have been. Chucky is an awesome character, so that was a great Easter egg. You know what Easter egg I didn't see, which was disappointing, and it was from a TV show, Knight Rider. Now, I know Knight Rider wasn't a movie or anything, or wasn't up there, prominence like Back to the Future and the DeLorean, but I would have liked to have seen that Trans Am, and maybe I would have even preferred to see Wade driving the Knight Rider car. Maybe I think the Knight Rider car is a little bit more iconic. That's just my opinion. But anyway, I love the DeLorean. I love Back to the Future. It was great it was there, but I would have liked to have seen the Trans Am as well. That would have been cool. Basically, this film isn't War and Peace. It isn't Shakespeare. It's visually stunning. The characters have got great individual personalities. As I say, it's trying to give you a message, but absolutely fantastic. This hunt for these keys for that main egg. So whoever wins this gets control of the Oasis. Now, ultimately, it's in a lot of ways, this is a typical Spielberg movie in terms of Indiana Jones or that type of thing, where ultimately the character is posed with being ultimately a greedy bastard. Or this is about sharing. This is a story about sharing or being selfish. And ultimately, the lead character, as he should, to send out a great message to young people, is sharing is better than thinking of yourself. So in the end, he's going to share the Oasis. And as he says at the end, as I said earlier, the Tuesday and Thursday, it's closed, so they can just concentrate in the real world. So apparently they are going to, someone told me they are going to do a sequel. I don't know if that's fact, by the way. I hope so, because I really enjoyed it. Now I'm going to be a little bit negative, not of the film. I loved the film. But isn't it sad that we live in a day where we're seeing a film which has got a billion Easter eggs representing stuff that we grew up with, TV shows, films, music. Isn't that a great display of how little originality we now have in Hollywood, that we're seeing this film and we're getting excited about this film because it's representing little bits of things we grew up with because they were better than what we've got today? Doesn't that display the lack of imagination in Hollywood? I think it does. I think it's really sad. And although I love this film is flawless to me. I don't have any issue with this film, apart from the villain. The villain wasn't a bad villain. It's great to watch Ben Mendelsohn. He's a great actor, and he's even funny in places. And I loved his avatar. I thought his avatar was awesome. And the guy he was meeting up with, and I forgot his name, he was hilarious as well. But ultimately, when you're watching a film that displays everything good about everything else in past society, you've got to think to yourself, what's wrong with our society? Well, our society isn't really very original anymore. And that's the biggest, saddest commentary you can ever have in a piece of media. So if you love this review, tap subscribe, tap the bell so you don't miss anything. Tell everyone about this YouTube channel. I don't think YouTube are really pushing it, but I've been on here for a month, so I didn't expect much else. But I'm really enjoying bringing reviews and stuff for you. So if you want to see more, if you want to see more movie chat and different things, please spread the word. We will talk again. Keep it Superman.